Hello, and welcome to What If I Was in the Dragon Ball Universe, Part 2.5. In Part 2 of the series, Rayzen decided to jump on the grenade, so to speak, as he went back for Goku's possessions and walked into the ambush of Tambourine as they both tried to get the 4-star Dragon Ball. Now, Rayzen at this point has had access to ki, magic, and martial arts training for the last 3 years, so he's a lot more heroic than I am, who, being honest, I'm kind of a coward, haven't really been in many fights, but I can see Rayzen fighting to the last breath against Tambourine, and unfortunately, due to that coin flip I did, Tambourine kills him, which leads to Rayzen ending up at the Earth check-in station in front of King Yama. Now, I would say I want Rayzen to petition the King Yama to go on Snake Way to train with King Kai. I see King Yama not really liking this idea because it's more work for him. But over some pestering and nagging, or maybe even some groveling, Rayzen would get the approval to get on Snake Way. If this was filler appropriate, I'd have Rayzen almost immediately jump off Snake Way to end up in Heffel, to hang out with the ogres Gaz and Mez, bargaining with them to get back on Snake Way to, continue on his path. But this is deceptive. He actually wants to stay down there, because even though they're easily outclassed by DBZ level Goku, they're still pretty powerful. I'd say they're in their low 400s in power levels area. So training with them would actually be great for Rayzen, and he'd want to do that. He'd also want them to lower their guard so that he could steal some of King Yama's fruit. And from the filler episode, it supposedly doubles whoever eats its strength and power, doubling the power level, in other words. And I think that'd be a great boon to Rayzen to, nothing else, get training from two powerful opponents and possibly double his power level by eating the fruit before the Demon King Piccolo is defeated and everyone is revived. And since he's alive then, he gets kicked out of Heffel and back to Earth. But that's filler. And we're going to stick with, even though I've got an original character as in the story, this is not a fan fiction, this is a what if. So we're going to stick to canon. And in canon, it takes Goku about 7 months to reach King Kai's planet on Snake Way. And here's the thing, Goku is significantly stronger than Rayzen is at this point in the story, but Rayzen isn't a Saiyan. Saiyans lose strength and motivation very quickly when they're starving, and Goku was basically starving for 7 months, so I could see him being significantly weaker for that entire time. Meanwhile, Rayzen has access to food beams and his crawler regeneration that basically increases his endurance. So I could see the 7 months being a very achievable goal for Rayzen to reach King Kai's planet. And I'd say through all the crawler boosts from pushing himself to basically go on a 7-month marathon, he'd have his power level about 200 at that point. Once he arrives at King Kai's planet, the 10 times Earth gravity would definitely hurt him a lot more than Goku, because Goku, depending on who you ask, was somewhere around 500 power level whenever he reached King Kai's planet, and he was basically had trouble walking, so having someone with just 200 would be having trouble moving. Luckily, with the crawler regeneration basically making him stronger every time he gets hurt, he would gradually get used to the power, get used to the gravity, possibly a little faster than Goku did. Now, convincing King Kai to be his mentor is another matter, but I've got dad jokes for days, so I think Rayzen would be able to tickle King Kai's funny bone. Some stupid joke like, what do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Makes King Kai snort, and then he's in. Of course, probably still take him 2 months to catch Bubbles and hit Gregory with a hammer, but he gets significantly stronger during this time. Now I'm going to say about 4 months after reaching King Kai's planet, he has learned the Kaioken. But he is not being taught the Spirit Bomb, because Rayzen's not a shonen protagonist. He's not pure of heart like Goku is. He's a regular guy that's got thrust into this unreal world. So he's kind of jaded. He's not pure, so he does not get access to the Spirit Bomb because he can't control it because he's not. And there's another aspect is the crawler power itself. The adaptive regeneration has a rather bad side effect. Just like in the Worm's web novel, which I get the term crawler power, it leads to masochism. The more you get hurt and recover, the stronger you become. So, Rayzen has begun abusing Kaioken to rip himself apart so his power would heal him back together stronger than before. In this type of, disturbing activities, it puts King Kai off from teaching him anything further. So, at the end of those 4 months, he's completed his training, at least what King Kai is willing to teach him, and he leaves his planet, heading back on Snake Way, where King Yama kicks him out of the afterlife because he's been alive for about a year now. Because everyone, like Chaozu and Tien and Yajirobe, he got wished back by the Dragon Balls when Kami restored Shenron. And whenever Rayzen returns to Earth, he heads to Kami's lookout. I'm gonna make a quick little sideline and saying between Gregory and King Kai, Rayzen learned how to fly, so it's not a matter of climbing Korn's tower in order to get there, he just flies over there. And meets up with Goku, who has been training on there to fight Piccolo Jr. But there's someone else there. There's Krillin. Krillin is also on Kami's lookout. Wait for part 3 to find out more. Part 4, my mistake, to learn more.